What's up, everybody? Got a great episode for you guys today. Got a special guest, Micah Treadway. We had him on earlier last year. If you haven't watched that interview, check it out. But we got him on again. How we doing today, man?
Man, chilling, man. Wednesday, my off day, so I've been cooling, really. Just some rehab, recovery, but just cooling on the game, watching Law and Order all day. So
shit, everybody watching shows on their off days. Trying to get that. Law and Order, can't go wrong with that either.
What makes you like Law and Order?
Just like the story progression. Like it's different every time. The cases, I mean, they'll like come back with a victim or like a suspect or something like that, but it's SVU, so it's all like sex crimes. So that's like interesting to me, just like how the like they go about kind of just like having to be able to like see women and like men continuously like in those different spaces, like intimacy and like how that leads to like resentment sometimes and like just all that different type of stuff. Like it's a little bit more than just like homicide. Like somebody died. Like it's different.
Yeah, I fuck with that too. But they still give Ice-T them same corny lines. He always come in.
Ice-T checking a bag doing that damn.
Definitely is though.
People love him. He can't get it up.
But now let's pick up where we left off from the last interview. So we were talking to you before you had the 2021 season. So 2021 season, you guys went 9-4, had a great year. You beat West Virginia in a bowl game. How can you describe that season for us?
That season was, I mean, personally, that was my best season. It was one that was difficult. Like from a leadership standpoint, because we had a lot of people out, and we had one of our key players out, and you know where our team was, in my opinion, a lot of people were kind of searching for their role, also trying to figure out like who they were within that role. And at running back, we kept losing dudes, and that's one of our actually not one of our, but that's our most important kind of call to what we do, because we run the ball. So ultimately, like it was very fun. We was fourth total defense in the country, and you know, it was just we put in. I felt like we fell a little short, obviously, and what we could have did. But for me, like it was fun to have my best season be my last. And then go out beating Wisconsin, being able to go down to AZ and have some fun that week too. That was pretty smooth. So as in total, it was a great season. But you know, obviously, we got to be your hardest critic sometimes, just to look back at things. So
yeah, you definitely one of the lucky few to beat Wisconsin. Only a couple Minnesotians can say that.
Facts.
But now, so how could you compare your time at Minnesota to Notre Dame?
I always tell people, a lot of people really don't understand, like, it's like you get like, people think they understand hard work, you know what I mean? People think they understand like a total process of developing who you are. But a lot of people don't. And the specific reason is because if I work at Google, my boss every day is not having a session with me about every single thing I did that day. So he's not going to tell me that my body language is bad. He's not going to tell me that I procrastinated this amount of times. Ultimately, he's not going to dock me for any of those things. And continuous failure and continuous criticism is what is development. And so for me at Notre Dame, I was fighting a little bit against myself, who I was, some of the things that I kind of allowed me to drift from my goal. I had a few setbacks with an injury, and then obviously my rest of the season I had to get better, but that was where I learned how to work hard. That was where I learned how to fail and let things go and keep going. So I always tell people, like, everybody's process is not the same. I had teammates come in and they get it right away, whether that be from playing time right away, or whether that just be from, the circumstances and the effort and the work that they put in. That wasn't the case for me, obviously. So at Notre Dame, it was learn how to work first.
Right.
What God was preparing me for was to be able to go out for 3 seasons and kind of like reinvent my whole career. So I had to do that, learn how to be a leader. I ended up going to school for youth development and leadership, which leadership is the hardest with youth. And nobody can tell me otherwise.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so learning the patience and the time and the care that it takes to be a leader, and not even that, just that, but the different ways that being a leader looks. Like, everybody thinks it's the same, and it's not. You got to be a leader different in every space. So Minnesota was the maturation process. That's what that was. It's dudes on my team now who are 24, 23. Like I said, some dudes just got it, whether it was circumstantial or whether it was mindset. They got in before I did. That wasn't my case. So I'm on teams with dudes who are younger than me. And at Minnesota, my last year, really, for me, that was my rookie season, in my opinion. That was where I learned how to be professional. So yeah, it was the hard work. It was the shutting out and failing and being able to understand what it took to get to where I wanted to go. And then from there, it was just the maturation process of me as a person, as a man.
Yeah, so it looks like you needed both of those journeys, those experiences. Now, so you talked a little about Notre Dame. What did you think about the Brian Kelly situation? Where you up and left and went to LSU before that bowl game? What did you think about that?
I mean, as players on the teams that I was on, man, we was really really player led. I mean, honesty for me is everything, and I think more than even the teams in Minnesota. And obviously, I had a part in that because I was a leader. So that's me just looking back in the mirror and whatever job I did as a leader. But a lot of us, everybody has their own opinion of any head coach in the country, or whatever they do and how they move. And Coach Kelly's decision was his decision for whatever it was. I think the way that he handled it maybe could have been different. And that's always going to be for anybody's opinion. It's always always going to have your own opinion about the ways in which you view somebody doing something. And somebody, I forgot who it was that said this, but opinions are the human's least form of intelligence. They really don't matter. At the end of the day, nobody really cares what you think. I mean, some people do, but like what you think really don't matter, because that's what you think and not what the person that's going through it thinks.
Right.
So he handled it the way he thought he should. As players, we looked at it, and as a program, Swarbrick looked at it, and everybody looked at it, and it was what it was, and they made the next decision. So, I'm big on, like, people do things. Like, I don't know the story behind everything. I don't know why he left. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shout out my boy Sean at Varsity House Podcast. He actually did a podcast with him, and I don't even touched on it because I only watched a little bit of it. But shout out Sean Crawford. But I mean, that's maybe a little bit of the insight that we get from that situation. But yeah, man, I mean, it was what it was. It was during the season. All my teammates was asking me about. I'm like, bro, y'all asking me about the wrong thing. We need to figure out
how we need to be locked in.
That's what I'm saying. We lost the people that we was supposed to beat. We trying to finish out the season, and y'all asking me about Brian Kelly. Like, that don't matter. So, man, it was what it was at that point.
Now,
That's incredible.
Yeah, you broke it down perfectly for us because really, you can't really think too much into it.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, I did want to touch on one thing because you really went deep in terms of like the things you took away from Notre Dame, whether it was hard work or learning how to lead. Was there any guys you played with that you kind of took what they were doing at that level and utilized when you went to Minnesota?
Yeah, a lot of the greatest form of learning is learning from humans. So
Right.
That's true.
I always tell people, in my opinion, school is a sham because they just teaching you books, right? If you're going into a trade, that's fine. If you're going in to be a doctor in whatever field, whether it's psychology or hands-on, that's cool. Consulting, finding all that different stuff, that's fine. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's still gonna be what, maybe 5% of your life, even within the trade that you about to go into, because you still got to learn what works and what doesn't work.
Right.
So the greatest form of learning is learning from humans. So some of the dudes that's younger than me, man, some of my good friends, Julian Aquar, Khalid Kareem, Tony Jones Jr., Jalen Elliott, all of those dudes I took something from, every one of them. Dudes that maybe didn't play a bunch, I took stuff from. Dudes that was more special teams guys, Nico Fertitta, Jonathan Jones, dudes on my team. And we could talk endlessly about the dudes that came before me. That's
Right.
a conversation we could have forever, bro. But literally, like, my boy Isaac Rochelle, he playing for the Browns right now. Like, his work ethic, just the way he went in, like he was a relaxed dude, but when it was time for him to work, he was focused, he was locked in. I took that from him. Andrew Trombetti, I took that from him too. Sheldon Day, never ever just doing something. Sheldon always told me why. These not coaches, these players. No offense to any coaches out there. My boy Winston Deladabudere the third right now, he's at Akron, killing it right now, coaching.
Right.
But the game is played by players. And the way that you learn the game is by players. I don't care what anyone says. Now, coach is there to lead you to places that you can't go yourself. My coach, Travis Smith, right now for the Bears, Justin Hines, they do a great job with me and the other two rookies that we got in breaking all of this down and like making sure that we understand the details and why. But even the things that Coach Travis do, we learn it from players. When he put the film up, all of these dudes that we've seen, the drills that he's showing us are drills that those guys either perfected or even bought into the programs that they was at. So it could be talked about with a bunch of people. And the names that I named, I took a little bit from each person.
Right.
So that's the game. And I would encourage guys to really look heavily into that and not always, oh, well, coach didn't teach me this. Or, yeah, that's fine. That's cool. I get that. Coach got to lead you to the water. At the end of the day, what you doing to get better? You know what I mean? What in your situation, if you got a chip on your shoulder in your situation, what are you doing to get out of that situation? How are you making that situation good for you? And what are you learning from that situation? When I picked Notre Dame, half the people was like, why would you do that? It's 5 other dudes like you. And half of the people in my circle that knew me was like, yeah, you got to go to work. You want to make it happen. So at the end of the day, it's like, you just got to be able to learn from players. You got to be able to take something from people, ask dudes questions, and get better.
Yeah, because you can only have so much time with your coaches. It's gonna come like when you have that have an opportunity to work out with your buddy, have that time to break down shit. So that is crucial.
Yeah, facts.
But now, so we talked about Brian Kelly leaving. Now, college football today, people are transferring. Like it's kind of like, oh, coach promised I'm going to start, not starting, so I'm going to go to the next school. What do you think about the world of transferring in college football right now?
I mean, I'm a grad transfer, so circumstantially, I understand transfer.
Right.
I also understand, like I said, sometimes you just don't get it right away. Sometimes it don't come to you immediately. That's, in my opinion, most of the time it's a you problem. Even if it is a situational thing where somebody might not be playing you because you think he don't like you. Honestly, bro, a lot of people will say, oh, you went to Minnesota, like, you was good, you were a great player, this, that, and the third, you work, so you don't really understand. I'm like, bro, that don't matter, bro. The energy that you put towards taking that spot, you didn't do enough. It's that simple. You feel me?
Yeah.
So when you're talking about transferring, you're talking about either somebody felt some type of way about their situation, or it just didn't work out in the way that they thought it was going to work out, which would have kind of been my standpoint. I think that me and my teammate, y'all know Coney Dirt. That's my guy. Shout out Coney Dirt.
Shout out Coney.
Yes, sir.
We was having a conversation in the locker room. I don't remember when this was, but one thing Coach Fleck always tells us is that failure is growth. And I think it's the way you was raised. It's got to be in you a little bit too, because a lot of dudes make excuses, and excuses are what we say in my frat. Excuses are tools of the incompetent, built upon monuments of nothingness, and those who specialize in them seldom amount to anything in life.
Damn.
So if you making excuses, you just setting yourself back every time you make an excuse. That excuse is oozing into everything that you do. It's oozing into your drill work. It's oozing into your school work. It's oozing into your relationships. It's oozing into all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of the excuses, it's no more fight. It's no more fight. Everybody want to be each other's friends. Everybody want to repost everybody post when they put it up on IG of them working out. You feel me?
Throw me on the ground.
I'll tell my homie, you don't got to repost.
I ain't never recorded. Right. We only got to record the workouts unless we just locking in on how we getting better on our technique or whatever.
Bro, my frat brother do all my videos, bro. And he'll tell you right now, he don't be at every 2 workouts.
Right.
He filmed me when I was at the pro day, probably like 5 months before that, and now he just put something in that we just did, and that's just for content. Nobody got to show up to my workouts. I don't got to post them nowhere. I don't got to put them nowhere. That's fine. You want to make an excuse about content? You really know why you posting it, bro. It's cool. That's great. But it's not there no more. And then you got the money involved. I get it. Some of us broke. I understand it, bro. We putting in a lot of work. That's fine. But the gang, that's not gonna make you any better. That's just gonna get you a bag. Dent said, at the end of my career, all I wanted was the congratulations and respect from my peers. So now we want congratulations and respect from people that don't got nothing to do with the sport. And females that come with money. You feel me? So it's like, it's just that whole culture of everything around it. It's tough because now you build it into coaching, coaches, cultures. So you got this big melting pot of, well, they're giving me the opportunity to make excuses and not fight for what I know I can have. So let me just transfer. Easy way out. Easy way out. So then you get it in people's games. You get DNs coming off the edge, taking the easy way out. Now it's a 35-yard run. I don't believe in no coincidences, bro. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe in it. Oh, what was the call? Oh, yeah, you call in practice. Yeah, you was making excuses. That's why. Like, that's how I don't believe in coincidence, bro. So I took it all out of my game my last season. And the season before that, too. And probably the season before that. But it was just, everything happens for a reason. So I just started taking all of that out of my game and stop worrying about it. And once you don't got to worry about who you're competing against.
No, that's deep. When was the point where you made that shift in your mindset where, like, yeah, fuck all these excuses. I'm gonna look myself in the mirror, point out my flaws, and improve on them.
I mean, well, first of all, shout out to my frat, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Shout out to them.
Yes, sir.
But there was some stuff that was going on in my personal life. Like I said, it oozes into everything. In a relationship that I was going through, I was just looking at myself as a man. Situations, and relationships can teach you a lot. When you're not in them, they can't really teach you that much if you don't have that circle of people that you intimate with, of people that you vulnerable with. So if you haven't been in a relationship, it's a lot of things you don't even know you need to work on. So when I was in one,
it's true.
That allowed me to see, okay, where am I doing this in real life? So I was making excuses in my relationship every once in a while. Okay, that's what I was making in the field. Let me take excuses. I was being accountable in my relationship, even with and it's not even with just her. It was with everybody.
Right.
Like, now let me see what I was doing that on the field. Or I'm bailing on plans, or I'm last minute doing it. Oh, I'm late to the ball on the field right here. So it all parallel. So
it carries into everything.
Right. That wasn't the person that I was raised to be. So it was a shift for me, probably like spring 2021. And I was just like, all right, let's just go at this from this angle of go hard. Whatever happens. Uncontrollables, leave them out. Controllables, maximize them, and put your head down and just go to work. And when that happened, I started changing. Obviously, it was a process. It wasn't perfect from the beginning. But that season, really that year, not even that season, man, that whole year, because I kind of did have setbacks and not as good a seasons that I had, that's what allowed me to get my foot in the door and ultimately, be where I'm at right now.
Okay. Big adjustments. Like to hear that. Now, James asking you all the deep questions. I'm giving you the softball. I'm giving you the softball ones. Now, so I'm going to stay with the college football topic, but, UCLA, USC, they coming in the Big Ten, playing at Minnesota. So what you think about that? What do you think about those Pac-12 teams coming in the Big Ten? And even Notre Dame, too.
Yeah, I tweeted. Indy is a Big Ten team. Let's just put that out right there, right now.
Yeah.
And then on top of the recruiting touch is really unlimited.
Right.
Notre Dame isn't in the conference because I know firsthand that they make more money than everybody. And my major, film, television, and theater, I know firsthand why that is, because of the TV deal, mostly. And then because of the brand that is Notre Dame. On top of that, it's a research facility. They do a lot in that area with everything that you could think of. And they specialize in a lot of the research and put things out and are productive in that area. Not to mention everything else that you could just talk about. So let's just put that out there, and we're going to take them out of this conversation and statement.
Okay.
In the Big Ten, when we looking at the Pac-12, the Big 12, the ACC, we're not worried about that. You're going to lose. But we play real football in the Big Ten. It's downhill. It's mano-a-mano. It's one-on-ones. It's in your face. Every play.
Style.
Yeah, every play. So for me, whatever financial, economic, whatever, all that stuff that's behind the scenes that we don't know about, that's cool. That's fine. They can deal with that. But they better be ready to put them pads on, and they better recruit to put them pads on. And I'm not just talking about getting 5 stars and 4 stars and Lincoln Riley no. You better put them big boy pads on.
Right. In them trenches. Invest in them trenches. They know.
Teams getting better. Teams is getting better. Shout out my boy Doug Kramer, center from Illinois. Them boys put up a fight against us, beat us. Teams is getting better. Rutgers is getting better.
They are.
Even playing Purdue, they get hot and beat big teams. So that's Big Ten.
It's a chess match every week.
Definitely
no
a
matter
tough
if you playing
conference.
Ohio State or whoever you want to deem as opposite of Ohio State. It's a chess match every week. So
100%.
I ain't worried about all the where they put people and who they play. I want to see them put them big boy pads on because in the Pac-12 they're not playing big boy football.
Definitely not playing defense.
I'm not. I'll snap it. They can pull the film up. I don't care. They're not playing big boy D. Because offense is offense. It's always going to be finesse somehow. But
of course, window dressing.
Yeah. You gotta go out and stop the stretch against Iowa. You gotta go out and stop the run against Wisconsin. You got to be able to defend on the perimeter against Ohio State and still put enough people in the box to catch one of them running backs or quarterbacks. And you got to be able to play with all the skill that they got at Penn State every week. And Michigan is probably one of the most diverse offenses in the country. So we're going to see.
We will. When you play West Virginia, did you see the difference between like the Big Ten and the Pac-12? Like, oh, these niggas really can't hang with us if I'm being honest.
Man, it was yeah, bro. Even from an offensive standpoint, we came out running the rock. We knew it. We was pounding that thing the whole game. Defensively, they tried to spread us out. We wasn't worried about it. We was winning. We was going. I was going to sit in the double team, and everybody was going to win the one-on-one on the run. So they was whatever they was going to do was going to be an adjustment to us. Period. I will say that Big 12 game, that Big 12 game was pretty physical. That Big 12 game was pretty physical with Baylor and with Oklahoma State.
Yeah. I will say that Baylor is pretty physical.
I'll give them that, but yeah, man, it's just different. It's just different when you going against 3 tight end sets, extra O linemen out there, like it's different.
Knowing the run coming to UK stop.
Yeah, you know it.
you know the X's and O's is not the problem.
You better be able to prepare for whatever coming off that play because it's coming.
Right. Exactly. And then on the flip side, what about playing Auburn? Like, did you know? What's the difference with that? This is different. This is different.
They didn't come to play that day.
Although y'all won, y'all won.
They didn't come to play that day, and I think they didn't think we was gonna we was on vacation. I don't know how they was, bro. We was on vacation, but every day in practice, we was
locked in.
It's no way we leaving this without playing all out. And then on top of that, from a recruiting standpoint of them and the plays they was making, we had the checks. We knew them.
Right.
We searched I don't know if they was on that same level, but that's what we do. So if it's out there, we're gonna find it. Period.
Right.
So and I would think teams would know that by now. It's 2022. The game been being played since Hallis created the game pretty much. I would think people would know. You put it on social media, we gonna try to find it somehow.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, on top of that, we had the edge. Oh yeah, we was going at them. And even with the talent they had, it was still a pretty close game up until a certain point.
Right.
So I was talking to some of the draft picks and some of the rookies and I forgot who it was, but just telling them SEC and Big Ten, y'all don't play the same football as we do in the other conferences. It's just not. Y'all don't. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So that matchup, I think that matchup showed me about my confidence.
Right.
Just
you know you can hang.
Yeah, and just playing certain teams and even if we would have played them, 2 years later, I would have played even better than I did. But that matchup was fun.
Now you mentioned talking to some of the rookies. You mentioned Doug Kramer, one of the Bears rookies. You got the opportunity to play, to be in the Bears rookie mini camp. You did your thing. So how was that rookie mini camp experience for you?
It was smooth. like you realize how good the best players are over every conference, over every team, and like how, you know, you gotta be on your A game. And all the coaches got their little cliche sayings and whatever they get from wherever they get them.
Coaches speak.
Yeah. But it's really true that you don't raise to the level of your competition. You fall to the level of the preparation. Mm-hmm. So whoever been preparing the most in every aspect is going to be the most prepared. So for me, it was just preparation. And it was just, every day just coming in, making plays, showing the coaches that I had the athleticism, I could dance in space, I could run to the ball, and that they could coach me and get me to a place where, I'm closer to the type of player that they know that I can be. So it was just competing on a daily basis, man. It was crazy to watch it, and I feel blessed to be around all of that competition because only a certain percentage of people get to see that on a daily basis. So it was fun.
Best in the world.
OTAs,
yeah, the best in the world.
Even OTAs was fun, and like my progression from day one to the last week, it was night and day. And just getting back to playing 3-tech because I hadn't played 3-tech. I had played nose the whole time. And at Minnesota, honestly, in my opinion, we didn't rush the passer how we should have from the inside. No. Shout out Sezia Tomu and Boye Mafe from the outside, from a DN standpoint, but in the inside, scheme, whatever. I mean, it don't matter. They can text my phone or call it, whatever they want to say about my criticism, but we didn't rush from the inside how I think we should have. So it would getting understanding the old lineman sets and understanding the different sets and the different hands and all that different type of stuff. I just progressively got better learning the playbook and my responsibility, and what I needed to do to continuously show that I belong there. It's crazy, bro. Because it's like people say, "Oh, you take it for granted." Well, no, we don't take it for granted. We just working hard. So ain't nobody paying attention to every single person that we playing with and all the superstars. Like, you're not paying attention to that. You're trying to play a game so they can pay you to play a game.
Right.
They the ones that open that door. I didn't tell them to create the NFL. I just grew to 6'4", 275 pounds in high school and have fun. Like, I didn't tell them to do that. So we here. If they're gonna pay us, then we got to show them why they need to pay us. And it's Darwinism. That's what it is. The best man is gonna win.
Exactly.
It's prepared. The person going all out is gonna win. So, man, it's crazy every day. And like, even just hanging out with the dudes. Shout out Justin Fields. Shout out Eddie Jackson. Shout out Jalen Johnson. All those vets that's there, and watching them boys play and go hard every day. And still be good dudes. It just shows you that even though those dudes are making a certain amount of money, they're still human beings. They still have families, and they still do stuff on the weekends and go out and have fun. So it's smooth, bro.
Now, yeah, how was OTAs and mandatory minicamp, being around those kind of guys that you mentioned? How was that? Even Roquan Smith being there, the top, one of the top linebackers in the NFL.
Yeah. No, I played against Roe. What was that? Let's see. We lost that. That was 2017 going into 2018. So I played against Roe that year at Georgia. He was all over the field that game, but like now it's just like it's crazy because playing with dudes like that, with linebackers like that, you can play your game. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna help you. And the speed and the athleticism is gonna show up. So locker room wise, right now, it's the vibes is great. It's a great team. The staff doing a good job of helping us understand what they want. Us being able and receptive to do what they want, but like gelling together and like as an organization, like they make it easy for all of us to be cool and like play football. And I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but from what the vets told me, it's not. So it's been smooth. Like I wasn't too starstruck because that's just how y'all know me. That's just how I am. I'm not. I don't really operate that way. But like it's cool. Like, you know, people, oh, you in the locker room with this dude, with that dude, such and such. I'm like, yeah, bro, it's a blessing. I'm so focused on doing what I got to do that it's just like I'm learning from my vets. Like I watched Justin Jones because he played with Jerry on the Chargers.
Right.
I just learn from them boys. Whatever they do, I try to mimic it. You know, do with them whatever my talent level is. But all them dudes is cool. Being in the locker room with them dudes is cool too. So.
Sure. I do want to go backwards though, because I'm sure the draft process was just, you know, you felt abundance of different emotions. But when you got that call from the Bears, how was that feeling? Ultimately getting that call and getting the opportunity to showcase your talent.
Crazy thing about it is I knew probably like 3 or 4 days before the draft.
Oh, so you was chilling.
Yeah, I just was. At that point, it was
just waiting for it to end.
It was a numbers game. Yeah, it was a numbers game at that point. And in the NFL, they don't just draft for talent. You know, what they need, that's what they drafting for. So
right.
They ended up getting a bunch of old linemen, rightfully so. I'm still a Bears fan, no matter if I'm on the team or another team at the end of the preseason. So we all knew that they needed old linemen. And
no question.
Shout out Gene DeLange, Jatari Carter, Zach Thomas, Doug Kramer, and we call him Big Smirk. My boy
Big Smirk.
My boy Braxton Jones, because he got the dreads like Dirt.
Dirt.
We call him Big Smirk. But shout out to them boys. They've been putting in work. I've been learning from them too. Like I said, you learn from you know, your players. So
right.
No, when I got the call, I'm so used to taking calls and walking out the room. Everybody was in the room. I walked out the room. I'm like,
where you going?
No speaker. Yeah. So it was cool. You know, everybody got to see it. My family, my close friends, and for me, like it was a culmination of everything that I've been through up to this point, man. Like with anybody getting a job, it don't matter what it is, whether you working at Target, wherever you working at.
Shout out Target.
The work that you put in, you know, in school and, you know, over time, like it's always going to be exciting because that's, you know, not the end result. Obviously, you want to continue to get better than where you at, but it's a milestone, you know what I'm saying? So it was great. And, you know, it's just the work. That's all it is always the work. You just keep putting the work in. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing that since Bolingbrook, putting in the work, whatever we do, and having fun with the people that we putting the work in with, and none more, none less. So.
Now, you talked about getting that call, obviously a great moment, but what so far has been your impression of Eberflus and Ryan Poles and the staff with Chicago Bears?
They trying to establish culture, man, ultimately. And they doing a good job at it in my opinion. You know, I'm a player, but I'm also very informed of culture and the way that it all works. So, you know, I was coming from Minnesota. but yeah, no, it's not, nothing's a secret. You know, even on defense, shout out Coach Williams. Nothing's a secret. They want you to know exactly what you need to do to be on the team, period. And if you don't do that, you won't be on the team. You won't play football. So they're doing a good job of establishing it. Everybody's personable. You can talk to any of them. I really like my coaches, particularly Coach Trav and Coach Hines. They are doing a really good job with me. And, you know, the other guys will give you their subjective opinions, but I've just been getting better, man, on a daily basis. And, you know, it's been great.
That's what's up, man. I do want to commend you, bro, because how many years did you do in college?
What, 7?
7. That's crazy. So for you, what gave you that drive to keep going? Like, man, I got some here, and then finally to make it, bro. How many people I would assume 99% of people would have called it a quit at maybe year 4 or year 5. Hell, motherfuckers don't even make it till spring semester of a freshman year.
Yeah, right. No, that's fact.
So what did you get? Like, how did you get through all of that, man? 7 years, that's a long time, and to finally get that call, and now you in the building. That's all you was asking for at the end of the day.
Yeah, bro. Man, it's crazy, bro. Like, y'all know, man. Even when we was in high school, it was like, oh, like, you know, I played a little Trojans. I played a little bit,
right?
And like I was hooping a little bit more than I was playing football. And
hoop dreams.
It was people that, you know, they was, oh, he just getting it because he big. You know what I'm saying? Just there, he just got the size. The Mississippi State offer honestly was just me running past tackles. You feel me? Like, so it was always doubt. From the outside, it was always doubt with me listening to the outside. But like growing up, bro, all I seen was my mom go to work, bro. Like I didn't know she was doing that work. I just knew she was going, and she was putting it in, and every other turn it was a raise. Every other turn it was a milestone. Eventually she was traveling out the country every 6 months. Eventually she had maybe 2 promotions for her to dang near own the company she was in. She was in a non-profit. In the room with all these dudes that she should have been in the room with. She don't have a degree, right? So that's in my blood, is to just do it. So for me, going to Coach Todd, that was perfect for me, bro. Because I had somebody with eyes on me that could tell me exactly what I was doing wrong, and I would keep coming back every night that we did it. So that's one angle. The other angle is resilience. My family, man, I got people in my family that's been through so much, and like it could be cliche, but like I said, you learn from humans. You don't, books not gonna always tell you. So I learned from all those people, weathering the storm, addiction, learning how to be fathers, learning how to be mothers, learning how to be brothers, making mistakes with each other. That's the resilience part of life, to get to places that they wanted to go. So hard work and resilience, man. I'll tell you, 2018, I wasn't even gonna play that season, bro. I called my parents. I was like, I'm done. They got me playing with dudes that I know for a fact I'm better than. And honestly, at that point, I probably hadn't put enough trust in with the coaches to be the number 2 dude in that rotation, whether it was playing time or whether it was just because they liked the person that was competing with me. Shout out Myron Tagovailoa. He got hurt, man. It opened up doors for me. Honestly, like, there's no really other way around that. I obviously had to make the decision to come back. Even before that, I told Coach Kelly I wasn't coming back. I told my D-line coach I wasn't coming back. I was done. I was going to transfer. But really, like right there, when my parents, my mom and dad was just like, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And whatever you feel like is best, it is. So I got a second opinion, talked to a couple of people who was asking, like a lot of guys in the NFL, what should I do? Came back and just worked hard that year, bro. Worked hard. You know, Myra got her to open up some doors. I put some film on tape, and I was able to keep going, man. And there was stuff that happened when I came to Minnesota. Like I said, everything happens for a reason, man. And it was just it's tough, bro, because you go through so much mentally. And like seeing with athletes now, like a lot of people can't handle all of it, or they're not getting enough help and they're not having conversations. But it was so much going on for me mentally. It was confidence. It was my relationships off the field. It was a lot of things. And I'm glad that God gave me those traits in order to continue to keep going in that favor. But man, it's not pretty, man. And it's like you get the congratulations, and I'm really not one for them. Like, I'm cool with it. One thing that I get from my mom, sometimes I don't even like for people to tell me I'm doing a good job, because at the end of the day, that's fine. But if I'm not producing and doing what I need to do, then food not gonna be on the table, money's not gonna be there. So it's just like people just see the end result and they don't understand what it takes to get to a certain point. And that's anything. Whether you had 3 or 4 business plans fail, and now you on that business plan because you put in the work in order to get to that business plan, and now you booming. You know what I'm saying? People don't get that. So it's all work, man. It's all going hard. It's having that resilience and just being able to bet on yourself pretty much.
So, yeah, you dropping a lot of gems. Definitely did. You're dropping a lot of gems for anybody can listen to this kind of stuff and apply it to their life, not just younger athletes trying to get to the level you are. Because you could have, like you said, you could have quit in that time, but you wouldn't be where you're at right now. And like you said, everything happens for a reason. But shit, what a journey, man.
For real.
Definitely happy to see you at this point. But I'll give you another easy question. I had it lined up. We were talking great stories. I love the deep talks, but I love the stories you're giving us too as well. So you're hanging out with, the Justin Fields of the world, those kind of guys. Me and Jade, huge Justin Fields guys. Is the hype real? You see it firsthand. Is he slinging that thing in practice? Is it real?
Yeah, man. Just like that. It's speaking of other people's processes is not always the thing that I like to get into, but I don't think he would be mad if I, kind of just from my lens as a D tackle, obviously not knowing that much about quarterback play and just like I obviously get it more than the average person does because I play D line, so I kind of know what's going through the head and all that different stuff. Just got it, man. Like it's literally night and day for me watching the games last year, and like whatever that staff was helping him with was what it was. But now to me, it just looks smoother and it just looks like Justin, because I watched Justin when we had to play Ohio State last year, and I watched him get out of a lot of trouble, and I watched him create a lot of plays that you would say, oh, well, if he wasn't there, then they probably wouldn't have been as good in those situations as they were. But now he got superstars everywhere. So the small things is what people don't get. Oh, run for 75 yards every game, pass for 8,000 touchdowns. Nah. Dump that thing off. Give it to the tight end. Give it to the running back. Sling it. Run for 2 yards. We need a first down. Like those, the small things that he's doing right now, he's doing them at a high level, in my opinion. And everybody wants to see the superhero Justin. That's fine. We got that in the horseshoe. I watched it. That's cool. You don't have to be a superhero. When he does and he goes for 5 rushing touchdowns, amazing. That's why he's on the team. That's why he's there. But all the small stuff that he making the checks, getting people lined up where they need to be at, all of that, being a leader, saying, no, come back to the huddle. We didn't break it down the way we were supposed to break it down. Come on, I got to play. This, that, and the third, ready to go. It's the small stuff. It's the little stuff.
Right.
And what we doing as a defense is he's making us better and we're making him better. And I can't wait for people to see what he do this year because it's going to be crazy. Shout out to the whole offense. Them boys going crazy. And they about to wake some people up. And it's about to be great, man. I'm telling you. On defense, we got big, really big shoes to fill. And people don't really understand that pressure because, I watch Urlacher every day. I watch Israel Adonijah. I watch Spice Adams, all those people not even including the really good dude, Julius Peppers. We watch them dudes every day. So we got drill. We call it the Peppers drill for the DNs. They getting up the field, hitting the hump move, making the O lineman. So all of that stuff we don't even tag off on the running backs. We punch. Tell me. Everything we doing, we gotta fill them shoes. And so it's gonna be a great year for everyone, in my opinion. And when it's not going great, we're gonna fight. That's football. So it's like I can't wait for people to see Justo, man. He a good dude too.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Yeah, we gonna be ready right here.
You got me ready.
Gonna be lit.
I do want to ask though. I mean, for the people that don't understand football, how important is your interior defensive lineman? I mean, and shoot, look at Micah. He just asked you 3 questions about Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But how vital is that in some trenches? That's what the water
is. You know, that people don't really get the way that this football thing actually works.
No, they don't.
It's hard for you to really understand anything when you're not in it, man. I don't get finance. I don't really understand. I understand it from my standpoint of if I was working with somebody who worked with personal finances. I get it from my standpoint of what I got to supply him with. But people don't really understand it. And like me playing my position I mean, obviously you get a sack, people are gonna, say, oh, he did a good job, this, that, and the third. But like, you go as your defensive line goes. And that's the reason why the Rams are in the Super Bowl, right? That's the reason why. That's the reason why the Buccaneers turn around the whole season from the beginning when Tom Brady was having troubles and they win the Super Bowl.
100%.
Tom Brady's Tom Brady. That's fine. That's cool. He's throwing the ball around. He's a great, cute quarterback. We've seen him come down with the Falcons and do what he did, this, that, and the third. But you got to understand, if Tom Brady or any cute quarterback in the world can sit back and not have any pressure, it becomes 7-on-7. So 100%. What we're doing is getting to the ball. We're putting pressure on him to do those things. And we're not even going to speak about the intricacies of plays, the way you got to fit, where you got to fit, how hard you got to take on a tight end coming down. We're not even going to talk about that. It's going to bore you because you're not going to know what's going on.
Right, it's too deep.
But the demeanor of your defensive line is the way your team is going to go. Literally, 100%. Watch film on Warren Sapp and them dudes when they played for the Bucs. I don't even know who was on offense for the Buccaneers that year. You couldn't tell me. I wouldn't know no name. I just know Warren Sapp pushed 10 tackles to I forgot his first name, Culpepper. You can look him up. Who was a bull rush long arm guy. He wasn't getting on edges like that. 10 sacks that year because Warren Sapp was pushing him to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people don't really understand it, man. They don't get it. They know those first 4 dudes that walk out. They don't get how the backups are also important. The twos are important.
That rotation key.
Twos might have the talents that the ones don't even have. People don't know that. There might be a 2 that don't start on rundown that come in the third down package.
Right, third down,
You know what I'm saying? So and even O-line, shout out to O-line. People don't get O-line
no
play.
Question.
People don't get O-line play. They just think you got to put a body on a body. That's not always how it goes. It's not always
that shit is intense.
You can tell when it's bad O-line play, though. When that shit is not going good.
Yeah. But people don't get what it takes when Tom Brady having them bad games and the O-line got to tighten up. They don't get that.
Right.
Now we got to make adjustments in all protection with the running backs, with the tight ends, in order for us to get in a groove. Because blocking is a groove too. So it's like
100%.
Yeah. Stop watching the ball every Sunday. Pick out something else to watch.
Right. I gotta lock in on my O-line and D-line play.
Yeah, man.
Especially if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, look, Jaden's right. Let's show some more love to the D linemen. So we asked our last guest who his top 5 linebackers are at the NFL. Who are your top 5 D linemen in the NFL right now?
Interior D linemen.
Yeah, interior.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
We know you got Aaron Donald, so we're gonna get him out of the way.
Aaron Donald on the Jordan LeBron. He don't count no more.
You're right.
Yeah, we got a whole TFL sack tape of him that's probably like 100 plays long. We don't even count him no more.
Right. That's a fact.
So for me, yeah, man, that's tough, man. I'm gonna have to personally, I'm gonna just go for my position, and I might not even put no DNs in there. So
Right.
we just gonna go
That's his
Kenny
own
Clark at
position.
the one for me. I watch Kenny Clark every day, personally. The way that he goes about his work is crazy, man. He can take over a drive. It'll be all three first, second, third down plays by Kenny Clark if he wanted them to be. I'm gonna say the kid from the Falcons,
Grady Jarrett, right?
Grady
Yeah.
Jarrett. I'm gonna put
Jarrett.
in there.
He's been good for a while too.
Yeah, man.
Underrated.
Simmons from the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, of course.
He had a huge playoff game against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yes.
He been balling. He been balling for real.
They broke the record for most sacks in the game, right? In a playoff game, not him, but the Titans did.
Yeah, he been balling, man. Hayward, from the Steelers, he's not going anywhere. He playing at a high level consistently.
Yes.
And man, there's so many ballers right now, man. D-line it's a sport that's or a position that's always kind of been ahead, but it's like we got a lot of ballers now, man. So I don't know. I'll finishing that list up. I don't even know, man. There's some DNs. It's obviously some DNs that deserve to be up there, but just because I play 3 tech and nose guard, I don't watch all those dudes as much. So I don't know. I think for me, I watch a lot of Villa too.
He's incredible, bro.
Even though his body type is not mine, the way that he plays with his hands in certain fields, and he's still getting to the quarterback. People don't.
Yeah, he's athletic.
People don't get it. You at 340, 350. I'll be telling people all the time. I was just working out. I'm like, bro, put a vest on. I'm gonna show you how I feel to do this workout. How I'm feeling right now. He just gets to the queue at 340, 350. So it's like that's another dude that I look at. And most of them dudes is dudes that I watch a little bit more. I mean, you got a ton of dudes. That Saints interior is crazy.
That's true.
That Chargers interior is crazy too, honestly.
The ones, the new guys they picked up,
yeah. So
they're gonna be hell.
Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, like it's about preparation. It's about, can you, even like Aaron Donald had that clip of him explaining how he watched film a couple weeks ago. It's like, can you break it down? Can you also apply what you've been doing off the not in the games but in practice, and apply that and be able to study your opponent, be able to know the game and allow your talents to shine as you go through that. And then you got to rush together. And you got to play the run together and do all those things. So, man, it's some good talent right now.
Can't argue with that list. Some great names on there.
So, who is what do you rather play? What's your favorite position to play? The 3, the 1, or even the 0? Shit.
But definitely the 3, man. And our defense
is
all attacking.
Right.
I played the nose at Minnesota really because I felt like I was the most equipped, and I just kind of understood it because my coach at Notre Dame taught it to us in a way that was easy for me to grasp it conceptually. And a lot of people think, oh, you're just taking on double teams. Well, you got guard pulls, and you got wham plays, and you got you got to be able to balance the rush based off of the 3 tech and the ends. So I understand those already in totality, but 3 tech, that penetration, man, is fun. You really everybody else go how you go. So it's fun. You can make more plays, just getting off the rock and everything. Like, it allows my ability athletically to shine.
Can't argue with that, man. Doing your thing. Seems like you're good at either position, doing your thing, man.
Right. Versatile. That's key.
Yeah.
But in the last interview, so last question we're going to give you. In the last interview, it was found out that you're a huge Drake fan. So what was your opinion on the Drake's album? A lot of people are hating on it. I know you probably were loving it.
Yeah, bro. Like, I listen to it regularly, and it's not that I like admire the album, but what you got to understand, right, about Drake is that he understands how to influence the culture, because he was doing it on accident when he first started. It was accidental. He was just being versatile. And at that point, he couldn't help it because he was reaching out to all people, all genres, everything. He was still trying to figure out if he wanted to rap, if he wanted to sing. Then he put it together on Nothing Was the Same, which in my opinion is the best album that he ever came out with. He put it together, and what he's doing now, because he can get on every track and rap the way everybody that loves rap wants him to. He can get on every track and sing the way everybody that loves Drake and sing wants him to do. But what he's doing now is he's being an artist. Beethoven could have came out with the same exact symphonies every time, but he didn't. That's why they got numbers, and that's why we all understand the numbers and listen to them in that type of sequence that we do, because we understand where Beethoven was in his career and the way that he put the music together. You feel me? Mike could have just made songs like Thriller, or he could have made songs like Man in the Mirror. But what did he do? He made a plethora of different types of songs, and he appealed to the culture. So what Drake does is he's an artist, and anybody, like, this is the thing, people don't get versatility. Regular people who do regular things, who don't push themselves to their limits, they don't understand versatility. I had to play I had to play nose. I had to learn what the ends do just in case I had to go in and play in my last 2 seasons in Notre Dame. I learned all of that. I played nose guard, and now I'm playing 3-tech in the NFL, in which I had to adjust and get back to understanding how to rush the passer. It's all versatility in whatever you do. So at the end of the day, when he's coming out and he's making these types of albums, it's because he's an artist, and no artist should ever stay the same. Van Gogh didn't draw the same painting every time. Like, man was doing so crazy, he cut his ear off. He was so obsessed with being different. He cut his ear off. He was like, I don't even want this ear no more. Take it. You feel me? If you are doing the same thing, like all of these artists nowadays, bro, they do the same thing.
All the
same thing. I'm a big fan of a lot of them, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that there are as elite artists as the ones we know. Kanye, Drake, Jay-Z, Meek Mill, all of these dudes who have a versatile discography. Those are dudes that setting the trends and making the culture. It's not all these other dudes with these cliche songs doing the same thing. You copying what they're doing because it's just popular culture. But people don't get that because they just stuck in one mindset. So when you look at the album, bro, it's like first of all, he's not the first person to make the type of music that he's making. He took it, made it his own, and now there's going to be a bunch of people who listen to that type of music because they've never heard it before, but they heard it on Drake's album. They did it with Tim's. I knew Higher before they came out with Wait For You. I heard the song before that. It was on TikTok. No idiot who scrolls through TikTok hadn't heard Higher yet. Mm-hmm. But now Future and Drake take the song, or the producer takes the song, puts it within it, mashes it up. Versatility. Like, everybody want to hate, bro, but they don't understand what it takes to be versatile because they're not living in that type of world. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that album. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's top 5. It's probably not. Probably not top 5. Like, at the end of the day, we might get tired of it. But I just know that it's like 7 or 6 albums that's been on the top 200 for how long that ain't left the top 200. So whatever you want to say about him, you can say about him. You want to give the excuse that he maybe wasn't writing all his stuff before, ask the other 300 artists that wasn't doing that. Chris Brown just confessed to it in the interview with Wallow and Gilly. He was like, bro, I like the song, bro. He was like, dude came up with it. We was all chilling, smoking, and we was like, let's make music. And bro wrote half the song, and I put the song onto the thing. Like, so if you want to get at it, that's fine. But yeah,
that's why I love having you on the podcast, though, Micah, because you'll break down sports, you'll go deep in it, and you do the same shit with the Drake. We talk anything we talk about, you'll break it down. But It's always a blessing having you on the pod. If you want to come on and just talk sports, come on, man. You're always welcome.
Let me know.
You're always welcome here, man. And we wish you the best of luck heading into training camp. Keep doing your thing, man. And if you haven't checked out the interview, like I said, the first one, go ahead, check it out. But thanks again for coming on, Micah. Appreciate you, man.